Start that again. Okay. Giving this another shot. Maybe it'll work better. Oh, he's gone. We're gonna try this one more time. See how this goes. Hopefully better. Welcome back to the live stream. Oh, we got that wind noise. I gotta get started. Got that. Got a little bit of wind noise from that air conditioner. So hopefully we'll be okay.
I'm back.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you before, so I figured I'd disconnect and get back in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it just dropped Wi-Fi. I don't know. I'm trying something different. I'm not on my hotspot. I'm at Rick's shop. We are giving this a go.
Hey, what happened to the R&R front doors?
They're supposed to be at 12. Not 12 yet.
I got a tangled mess of cords now. Because I have a webcam to worry about too, and a 30-foot hose, and extension cords that go into my box and out of my box.
And you're back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to... Well, I guess it is. So I was trying to figure out how to lower the volume on the video, but increase the volume on the Discord.
When I did it, it worked.
Oh, you know what's weird? It's lowering down the volume on the video, but I can still hear you on the Discord, which is good.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Like, because I tried it on an iPhone to see if that would work.
How do I... Okay, here's a question. How do I increase the volume?
Is it quiet?
Oh, there we go. Maybe increase the volume when I'm in Discord, and then decrease the volume while I'm watching the video.
There's too much going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
What the fuck, man?
What's going on?
Do you have a train there, too?
Oh! Yeah, that's a train. You just catch it on the worst time. And this thing literally going like 5 miles an hour.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, let me mute it. I'll be right back. Hold on.
R.I.P. audio. Got peacocks and a fucking train. Like, come on.
All right, I think it's done. It has to go through, and then like it has to honk because some of the crossings don't have like the arms. Yeah. So like people are stupid and they'll get run over. So they gotta do their due diligence. Well, there he goes again. He's way down there now.
It's just funny. Like I hear peacocks, and then all of a sudden,
it's Florida life. There's so much going on.
You must have a fun time trying to film there.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know what I'm doing on not this Saturday, but next Saturday?
What?
So I put up a post. I put up a post for professional headshots, and I put it up in like these different groups.
Yeah.
In the area, like $50. $50 for 15 minutes. You get like 2-3 shots.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing that next week. So hopefully I can close in on about 10 people and make a quick $500.
Oh, you saw that video, huh?
I did. I mean, verbatim just stealing it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see if it works. I put the post up this morning, and I already got one person in.
Nice.
So I got 7 days to fill in 9 more spots.
Do you have like backdrop and everything?
I have an all black backdrop. I have a white, a black, and a chroma green. But what I was doing was that I was just like kind of laying it flat over, and like I could still see like the fold marks, and I was never pleased with it. But I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it. I forget who it was that did it, where they took it and then they put more because I only have like 2 clamps, right? But I need like 10, so that
Yeah.
like I can clamp it tight around the backdrop frame.
Yeah.
So then that way it's like flat. And then I was gonna put a floodlight on the bottom just to accent it, and then also just get my lighting system down there too. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Cool.
We'll see.
Put the gear to work.
Right? I mean, I have exactly right. That was oh my gosh! I had the old lady busting my balls last weekend. She's like, "You spent $2,400 on all this equipment, blah blah blah."
You
Stop
need
it.
you need to start posting.
I know. Did you notice I didn't even do a live stream this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm not trying to see. I'm figured that like if I start weaning off the live streams or maybe do them monthly, like it'll force me to like post videos. And then I do it on like the worst time ever because tomorrow's Father's Day, so it's like the old lady wants to with the family. I'm
Yeah.
like we're going to the beach with the kids and stuff. I'm like,
Uh,
just stay home. It's Father's Day. Let's just stay home. Let me
it's
shoot.
your day, right?
Right? Exactly. I don't deal with none of this.
Yeah, another guy at the shop was telling me that he has kids soccer tryouts every year on Father's Day. And it's like same thing every year. Yep, they schedule like the school tryouts all together, always on Father's Day. Yep. What's going on right now?
What?
I don't pay attention.
On Father's Day? This is why soccer sucks.
All right.
Happy Father's Day.
But yeah, I have 2 cameras set up, and I figured I'd give this a shot. Oh,
I
come
like the
on.
I like the 2-angle shot. Why am I not live? There it is.
How dark? What is it? Insane Chevy. What's up? How dark you're going? We're doing 20 on the front and then 15 over factory on the back with the windshield strip. It still says video output is low.
Looks good to me, my friend.
Okay, we'll leave it like this for a little bit.
What are you, 720 or are you going lower?
No, I went to 480.
It looks
But
fine.
okay, as long as it's not buffering. I mean, it just seemed a lot more consistent when I was running off of my phone, which is the bizarre part.
The 420 doesn't look bad at all. Or a 480.
That's good. I was just hoping I could up my game, and then I started looking at other cameras too and seeing possibilities.
What do you have that camera on? Is that on the stick?
That is literally on a 60-inch roll of vinyl.
Oh, okay. That
I
works
have.
too.
So I was gonna use my monopod, and my monopod would be better, but the stupid Manfrotto threading for the foot is some obscure metric size and not a common camera size.
On the foot of the on the top?
No, on the
No.
foot of the monopod, so at the very bottom. You can unscrew it's got a like a grip mount. So you basically like hold the monopod and you can use like tilts and stuff like that. But it doesn't come with like a foot mount, so I ordered one. And the foot mounts all use a 3/16 size thread, or a 4/4" 20 thread. Like whatever.
I thought those threadings
Oh.
could come out, like they unscrew and then you just flip them and screw back in, and then they're
They
the right
do
size.
for the top. The top
Oh,
has a
but not the
regular
bottom.
camera mount, but the bottom, the foot mount, is some obscure metric size for the
Ah.
spike add-on and whatever else that they had along with it. And it's like, so they don't have like a universal threading for the bottom. So I had to find some adapter out of China,
That's always fun.
like a 3/8 adapter to, it's called an M8 1.25.
Oh, you gotta love metric. Why is there
Yeah.
metric screws?
It's
Why?
it's just coming all the way from China, so that'll be here like in a couple of weeks.
In 30 days.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Who's this? Mike?
Yes,
Is
it
this
is.
Mike? Hey, man.
What's going
What's
on,
up?
brother?
Where you guys been? I haven't seen any live streams this past week.
I know. I'm trying to stop the streams. Well, not stop them, but maybe minimize them. I gotta make like actual videos. Like, and I'm just like crutching on these live streams, and I'm like, oh, okay, at least I'm posting once a week. It's not really.
You got to make the videos and sell them so that way you become a $500,000 shop, not a $250,000.
Right?
I had just a weird week, so I was either at one shop in the morning or I had to go, like, I just had weird days, so I didn't have any, like, casual days where I could really set up the stream until today.
The life of a tinter, it's never the same every day.
I know, and that's the thing, it's like I tried hard, like, that's what got me to set up this mobile craziness right now. It's because I was like, well, I could plan one day a week with a car, but then you never have a consistent drop off, and then it's always just, you know, whatever comes up. So got to be ready for it.
That's it.
So that's the way I designed this, and now I have 2 cameras. So
Oh, I didn't even go on YouTube yet to see the live stream. I
oh,
just
you just
saw
hopped
it.
in the Discord?
Yeah, I just hopped right in.
Oh, nice.
How did you hop in? Do you get notifications? How do you do that?
Yeah, well, I get the notification from YouTube that you guys are on, and then I just happen to check it and see if it was on, if it was
That
live
makes
streaming.
sense.
So
That's awesome.
I thought like Discord sent you a notification.
I think it does have a notification spot for it though, but it's not hooked up. Like I didn't get it from Discord.
You can't,
Oh
like,
my!
with Discord, it was doing notifications on text chat, but it would do notifications for literally every text message. And I'm like, no. I gotta disable that. This is excessive. There we go. Let's check the chat.
I like the overlay that you have with the Discord, so you could.
Yeah. Yeah, with the different voices so you can see who's talking. That's pretty sweet. I was just having fun with OBS. Let's see. We gotta turn that. I'm gonna need 3 cameras pretty soon, right? Too many. No, but I hopefully get my camera girl soon enough.
How's that going along?
I fly out at the end of the month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm
Yeah, I
gone
just.
for another couple of weeks.
Again.
Yeah. As if it hasn't been enough already, it's again.
So Matt, what are you tinting today?
I have this Equinox that we're doing the full, and then I've got 2 other cars lined up after this so far. I gotta look at my schedule and see what it is. I had a Civic Coupe in here just before this, but I was too tired to even start. I was like, I gotta set up the live stream, but then they got here like right at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'll do it on the next car.
Oh, it's surprisingly cool out. Oh, sorry.
It is a little bit of work to set this up, which is funny. Like, I made it as simple as I could, but like, until I really get used to it, it's like, okay, I got that plugged in, and I gotta have these plugged in, and the cameras can't be plugged into the same USB hub because then they conflict with each other. I'm like, come on now. Oh, Patrick, do you like have, every time I fire up OBS, and then I go to, like, the audio sources don't pick up until I right-click on them. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, there's the audio source.
Like they're muted?
Yeah, like it says, like for desktop, for instance, it'll have desktop set to default, but nothing will show up until I right-click on it and then just look at it, and then all of a sudden it picks up the audio.
Huh.
It's
sometimes I'll see it and it's muted, but no.
unless
Usually
it
doesn't
mutes
do
it
it.
by default or something. I don't know. I gotta play around with it more. It gets
OBS
tiresome.
OBS is very finicky.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't shut down properly either, so you have to restart your computer. I should just move this over to the other side and do the doors. I need my Monopod, man. That thing's so much nicer. Woof. How's that? Am I even on the right camera? Yes, I am. I don't know if this is going to stay here because the floor is slanted. Oh. I need less cable. It's pulling on it. Let's see. Let's
Just duct tape it to your chest.
Right. Okay. Something like that's good.
I wonder if we have good weather tomorrow.
I think it's hot here tomorrow. We had nice weather yesterday. It's pretty good today, too. All right. That's nice. It's a little hot. Yeah. That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I haven't had any in weeks. I misplaced them somehow, some way. I think I leave them in cars, but I don't leave them with the blades in. But and then I left my Fusion 5 long handle, so I've been using this Unger. Oh, it's like the worst thing in the world. Can't stand an Unger handle.
I used to use those.
Plus, it's metal, so it's like that. It's the only thing. Like besides my Olfa, my red dot, and I even stopped carrying my red dot and started carrying an Olfa knife because it's plastic. Like so now the Unger handle is the only metal thing I have on my whole pouch. And I try to stop the metal so like I don't rub up on a car and scratch it.
You could still scratch it with plastic, in all fairness.
Yeah, but not as easy, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be as bad of a scratch. Like, you could still fix it pretty easily. Like, it'll scuff it, and then you could just buff it out. Oh my god. Come on, plotter. It's hung up. I don't like the plotter. I do and I don't. I like it when it works.
The flat glass boys were giving me hell about my hammock in the back. They're like, "Are you serious? It's a hammock?
They're just
You live a tough
jealous
life, my friend."
Just jealous because they didn't do it first.
Right?
We'll figure out a mobile solution for it.
Alright.
Alright.
Ooh, I should probably take this to the beach tomorrow, see if I can find 2 trees and hook up the hammock there.
Palm trees
pass
and a
out.
hammock in Florida. That's the
Right?
dream.
Yeah, just everyone just leave me alone. It's Father's Day. Leave me alone. Let me sleep.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Don't answer the phone for exes. Not on Father's Day. Not today. Ring, ring. Hello, Daddy. What?
Oh, Jesus.
Blake?
Oh, I was gonna ask you the other day about your little Facebook program thing.
The mentor program?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, right? I saw that.
Yeah, I saw
Well,
that pop
I
up.
did it.
I was like, ooh, that's nifty.
Well, what I have to do is I did that, and I set it up, but I haven't been back on Facebook on an actual desktop since, and I don't think I can see it on a phone. So I know people are signing up. I just have to check the mentors and make sure that they're legit people that know like what they're doing and they're not assholes. You know, there's certain people that I wouldn't let mentor. But then there's other people that are. I don't know. I just saw it popped up as an option. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, why not?
Really?
If people are wanting to help, like, yeah, I didn't set that mentor program up. It was just an option for groups. I was like, yeah, let's see what we got going on here.
That's cool. I didn't see that pop up, so.
Yeah, I don't think they offer it for the smaller group. I'm just kidding.
2,700?
Yeah, I've been growing this group for like the last year and a half, almost 2 years. So and you've had yours up for like 2.5 weeks, and it's like 500 less than mine. Like, damn it!
In all fairness, I've had mine up since like 2014.
Oh, so now I feel better now. Took you 8 years, 4 years to get 2,000.
I had like 1,500 people, and then I had like 500 pending or somewhere around that, and I just added them. It's like,
you ever feel like you got so much to do, so little time to do it?
Yeah, now especially.
That's me, especially with the videos. I'm like, I know I need to. Oh, you know what? Do you ever get this? So, I don't have a intervalometer or whatever it's called. So I've just been shooting like straight normal footage, right? And then I like speed it up in post. But when I render out the video, it's like it's not smooth. Have you ever done a time lapse with normal video and just speed it up?
Yeah. It's not gonna be smooth because it's a time lapse. Are you trying to like, what effect are you trying to create?
Time lapse.
Well, like there's a few different ways to do a time lapse. Some of them screw around with the exposure, and that'll give you like this blur effect that makes everything look smooth. But just a regular time lapse is very jittery.
Yeah, is it okay? So here's my question. You know how like so I know you shoot at 24 frames.
Yeah.
I usually shoot at 30, right? So if I'm shooting at 30 frames and I speed that time up, now the frames go from 30 to like some crazy oddball number. Do the frames need to be a multiple of like 30, or it doesn't matter? I'm just curious if it's going to start to, because if I bring it down to like 25 or bring it down to 20, or it will start to flicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's what's going on. I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure. I was trying to make it a little bit, like trying to do that blur effect, but I don't know if I have enough control because you have to adjust the exposure to get that blur effect. It basically,
There's something called scene stitching or clip stitching or something like that, where it blends the two, because you'll have two images that are the same, and then two more images that are the same. So
Yeah.
the two images that are the same, they kind of blend them together, so it makes a blur. I don't know. This is why I need to get off Resolve and I need to get on Premiere, because you're on Premiere and I'm on Premiere, then we can both screw around with each other's stuff.
Right.
But when you're on Resolve and I'm like, there's 17 million videos on Premiere.
Mm-hmm.
But Resolve, they're like, I don't know.
Right. Trying to think. The okay, so it would be like a fake blur. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't messed around with that at all. Kind of like they do with the fake stabilization and stuff like that too, or the slow-mo, they stitch it together. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to stick closer to time-lapse because at least that'll stay in 1080. Because if I do, I have to upscale 720 slow-mo to 1080, and it looks all right. It doesn't look horrible, but
yeah.
yeah.
Maddie Hapoya did a pretty good video on the time-lapse slow-mo, or not slow-mo, but the time-lapse blur effect.
I gotta look into that.
But he can manually set the exposure, where I know some of the Canon cameras are like the lower end ones, they limit them on that. That's the trade-off on some of the lower end ones. They just kind of restrict them a little bit more.
Like custom white balance?
No, so if you get a higher end one, you can adjust things like the exposure in time-lapse, and they just have more features built into them.
And they have time-lapse features, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the features that they have in the higher end ones. So that's your video shooting stuff will be very, very similar, if not identical. But on some of the higher end cameras, besides if it's a difference between the SL2 and the 80D, they're the exact same as far as video shooting. They use the same sensor, same autofocus, but the 80D has more photography features, so more stuff for time-lapse and whatnot. And just there's other photography stuff besides that, but that would be an example of something that you get a little bit more of on the 80D.
Have you seen the process to actually do a real time lapse with the intervalometer or whatever? I think what is that thing called? Jeez.
Yeah, it's an intervalometer.
It is time consuming.
Yeah, because you're basically you take all your pictures and then you got to tell the software to stitch them together into a time lapse, and then you can make some adjustments from there too. It's all work.
A lot of work. I've been thinking about getting a Hero 6 because that does time lapse plus it does no. I'm just saying strictly for B-roll.
No, it'd be cool. It's just another thing.
I know, right? Just I need more equipment.
They're cool, but it's with my second camera, it really is just more work. So you can do some cool stuff, but you just got to be conscious about your other cameras and stuff like that. So, set up a shot for this and then go over the footage and then splice it in where it's fitting, or set up a shot with 2 different angles and then go through, and you can pick and choose, but it's still a fair amount of work.
I might need a stool.
A stool?
For people to sit in when they do headshots. I might need to research how to properly take headshots.
Dude, come on now.
Nah, this should be fine.
It should be.
Should
You
be good
watched
to go.
that video, but you didn't look at anything about taking headshots?
It's the same. Pictures are pictures, right? Pictures are pictures. I don't think I can blur the background if I have a black background.
You should just take them on your phone and see the people's reaction. I mean, you're still using the kit lens on that camera too, right?
There's a kit lens, and then I have another one that's.
Oh shit! Go out and buy the. Do you have the Nifty 50?
I don't.
Get the Nifty 50 for your headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a portrait lens. It's not like amazing looking or any like as far as like, you know, if you want to wow people, but like that gives them like you have to step farther back, and that gives you a blurry background and stuff like that.
Yeah, but does that still work if the background's close to them? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, it does. It's actually it has good separation. Like, yeah, it's actually it's a really good lens, but the way it creates its depth of field is it's a 50 millimeter lens, so you need the space to be able to step much farther back.
How far?
Well, for portraits, because it's just the headshot, it's not too bad. Probably like 10 feet.
That far, and it'll still be zoomed in?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's like majorly cropped in. It doesn't have a zoom. It's just a fixed focal length.
Right.
So, yeah, look up a video on it, and honestly, I'd use that for your portraits because that's what that lens is designed for. And as soon as I bought it, I understood what they meant about it being for portraits because I tried to shoot video, and it's like, no, this thing's like a little bit of a telescope. But it creates that separation of your subject.
You could use it for video, but you have to set up a tripod, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could, and then you just got to make sure that you have the space.
Yeah, my closet ain't doing it. My closet is not conducive for depth of field.
Yeah. Wait, purple platypus. He says he's currently outside his house tinting his rear windshield. He's using baby powder and dryer sheet. Is this wrong or unnecessary? Yeah, you don't need both. Just pick one or the other. Because they're different shrinking techniques. So I only use dryer sheets.
Ditto.
I mean, if it, he says, is this wrong or unnecessary? I complete the windshield. I think it's a little unnecessary, but I mean, experimenting with different things too is all right, as long as you can get it to work for you. People come up with different things all the time, so that's not a bad thing, but personally, I think it's a little bit unnecessary just because I shrink everything with a dryer sheet, and I don't have any problems doing that, so. Okay, let me see. How tangled up am I?
The purple platypus says the dryer sheets didn't leave a good enough glaze using solely the sheets.
What kind of dryer sheets are you using? That's my next question. Because right now I use Snuggles. Bounce worked really well too. Or wait, was it? Yeah, I think. I was using one for a long time.
Bounce.
Do you just join? Is he in the voice chat or is that you? Oh, that was you.
That was me.
Okay. Just the audio was weird.
Oh, I think I was covering the mic with my chin.
Let's see. Yeah, I switched to Bounce to Snuggles. Bounce I still liked, but if there's like stuff on the windshield too, like a little bit of a, what do you call it? Like a little bit of dirt, it can screw it up a little bit. So some stick better than others, and depending on how heavy of a layer that you put on it.
I used to just spray the back and then just rub dryer sheet on it, like straight up.
That's what I
But
did with this one.
but my buddy, he'll wet the back, he'll wet the dryer sheet, and then he'll like rub it.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's actually how I do it. I suds it up a little bit. Whoa.
Sounded worse, so I had to
I gotta put this
reset.
remote. I gotta switch that button. I keep changing, like it bumps a button and then it puts it into standby mode. Yep, there it goes. All right.
Bro, I'm so jelly of this live thing right now.
You can see it's work. So if I
Yeah.
had like 4 or 5 cars set up, like I just don't have that right now though. And then it's like it's just like setting up shots for everything else. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just leave it here, and then I can pop back to this angle too, which we can turn.
Is that an 18?
I believe so. I like this cart though. It's so well set up for what I have to do.
Oh, I think I found a source for the tank video I was telling you about.
For the tank
I-
video.
Remember how I didn't? I wanted to source all the materials
Yeah.
and find someplace.
Yeah.
I think I found someplace.
You're not gonna get them through Rick?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure all that out.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, whichever way you go.
I gotta find. I wish that this channel made more.
Uh-huh.
That way, I had the luxury of choosing others with a little bit of out-of-pocket expenses. Sometimes I just have to go with what's most affordable.
Right. What's up? Rick just got back to the shop. He saw my my camera on a 60-inch roll of vinyl.
Yeah. Who's at the shop with you?
Rick just got back here. Your nifty, Rick, your nifty shank thing doesn't work on this one.
Don't work on this one.
It doesn't work on this one. So I have to use my method. No, leave that on. You don't need to take it off.
I'm just curious.
Still no.
Okay, so don't work on all of them.
Nope. You just gotta hold it back with the cord.
Adrian's DIY says, "What's up, Matt?"
Oh yeah. What's up, Adrian? Matt, I missed your Dodge Dart vid the other day. I didn't do a video on the Dodge Dart the other day. I was actually tinting one right after I ended that live stream, so I just couldn't move everything over. The car was in a different bay, and it would have took way too long. So, but yeah, I don't pull the I don't pull any of the seals for the Dodge Darts. I just tint them as is. The only thing that I use is this shank thing to help pull the seal back a little, but I do that on most vehicles, so. All right, we're all gonna learn something now. So, a lot of people take these wipers off on these hatches, and you don't need to. Like you can, but it's just extra work. So I'll use the cord. Like you can prop a rag or something else under it, but when I'm just trying to get it done quick, it's a pretty easy shrink. I'll just hold it back with the with the cord of the heat gun and just kind of loop it over my shoulder. And it keeps it out of the way to get it shrunk enough, and then you'll be able to just let it back down. Uh-oh.
See, I feel like that back window, because I've been so pampered with plotters over the last 2 years, I feel like that back window would be such a pain to hand cut.
Oh, this one, no. No, this one's pretty straightforward. You have enough room up here to sneak a blade in. There are some that are, like, I don't like doing the focus hatches.
They're like really deep.
They're not that bad. Oh my god, I keep doing that. They're not that bad, but it's still, like, you got enough hatch in the way that you kind of have to, like, guesstimate some of your cuts and then slide the film up into the spot, and then you can still shrink it with a hatch on.
Need to trim it on the inside?
You can trim a little bit on the inside.
See, if I went solo and went mobile, I would definitely get a van and shove a plotter in there. That's what I would do.
That would be handy. I'm worried, like, I've thought about that, but I'd be worried about wintertime here, because that would be cold. It'd be sitting out in the van, and we'd be, like, just below 0. And you can, like, run the van and warm it up, but those things are sensitive, and the roads here are so full of potholes and stuff.
That's why you gotta move to Florida.
That's why I gotta move to Florida.
To keep your plotter warm.
Right. Okay. Jeez, these are really wide angle. I like these cameras because they have a wide angle, but at the same time, like, they're so wide, they're almost too wide.
Can't you crop it in OBS?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I could just up the quality, and then, yeah, I can crop it in. Yeah, let me do that. That's a good idea. Because then it'll still look good. I'll put this over on the peel board.
Biloxi, Mississippi? Purple platypus, that is not close to me. That's like 10 hours.
Mississippi, yeah, that's not close to me either.
I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, it is about probably 8 to 10 hours.
Here's my rags. But yeah, I think I got cars spaced like 2 hours apart today, so.
That's nice.
I'll probably run this for like the next one. We'll just see how the day goes. Phone's been pretty dead today.
It's Father's Day. People are trying to spend that money.
Yeah.
There's a comedian out there, I forget who he is. He was talking about Father's Day, and he's like the sole provider for his family.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "What do you want? What do you want? Father's Day." He's like, "I want you to not spend my money."
Oh, I get a 300 at 1 o'clock.
Oh.
Those are easy.
Do you burn the felts ever?
No, you don't need to.
Do you tape them?
Nope. Just tin them.
Just tin them.
Just do it. Don't pull the seals. Don't do any of that. Just tin them.
Oh, you can't pull this. You can't pull. I tried to pull the seals on the 300. Oh my Lana, what a nightmare.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, they're a nightmare.
We get a lot of those too. So
the 200s you can pull apart, no problem. The 200s, the back door you have to pull the full panel off, but the front door you can just pull the top off. But the 300s, get out of here. You better get good. And because I top load like maybe 5% of the time, so like I'm like, it's kind of like riding a bike, but like if your bike is, it's like riding your old bike that has like one flat tire. Like it gets you there, but like your new bike is always better with the 10 gears.
Is that for two staging or top loading or whatever?
For top loading, yeah.
Oh. That's the way I always do it.
No, that's the way I did it for years, bro. If you start bottom loading, you'll love it. You'll love it.
It doesn't sound like I will.
We had a Honda Accord come in here, 2000, and I don't know what it was, 2012.
Yeah.
I can't remember, 14 or something like that. And when me and Marty are double teaming cars, like I usually, because he's old, so like I do the back, so he doesn't like have to Frankenstein and hurt his back.
Yeah.
It's good for me because if he does one back window and blows his back out, he's done for the day. And I'm like, well, that makes it hard for me. So I just do all the back windows.
Right.
And he's like, can you just pop the seals out of those? I'm like, no, you gotta pull the full door panel off the hooks. It doesn't just pop the seal. He's like, what? He's like, I'll just top load them. I'm like, no, just give me 30 seconds. It doesn't take long to pull a panel off. Literally, it's like, take a panel off, take 2 screws. Take a panel off, take 1 screw, you're done. You just pop. And then I just, because there's clips usually on the bottom, holding them around. So I usually just clip the bottom 3. They're like on the very bottom so the top doesn't push up against the glass.
Yeah.
And when I was cleaning the back glass and forgot I took the door panels off, and I pseudo jump out of the car, and I usually put my hand on the door handle of the back door. I forgot that I took the fucking panel off. Oh, excuse me. I took the panel off, and I went to put my hand on it, and the whole door ripped off, and I fell on the ground. I'm like, Jesus.
Aggressive.
Rip the cords out that those metal cables that connect the lock and the handle of the door. Yeah, rip those things off. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my gosh. But everything clipped back together and it was just fine. I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna have to take the double-sided tape and get creative. The real life of tenders.
I just 2-stage them and then no problems.
You don't have to do that.
No. And that's really why, is just learning, taking, how to take particular things off, and it's just always works, so that's why I always do it. Boop. My hose is there. I just closed it on the hose.
Oh, it looks like
It's still good.
Looks like my uncle's in the hospital, and I am the worst family member in the world. I don't know. Get well soon. What's going on here? It's just news to me. I should probably shoot him a call.
Yeah. Okay, these go on this side. All right. What do we got? We got 8 people. Oh,
I wish
the channel went up like fucking 250 people since last week.
Why? Wait, that's a good thing, but
it is a good thing. I don't know. It's almost like 800 a month now.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was like 650. I told you that there was something happened in July. I had a huge boost in July, like massive. A huge 50% increase, and it went to like 650. And then, hold on, I got this.
Uh-oh.
and the high went back down to normal, and now it's back down to like 450, 500. I'm like, oh.
Oh, only 450, 500.
Right?
That's still really good.
I know that, but 600 is much better.
That's true, but as soon as you start posting,
I know it'll grow even more.
mm-hmm.
I just have to post. I know. Believe me, I know.
It's YouTube, man. It's work.
So much work. What's your Discord name? Hold on. Tint stuff. It's in an overlay in the top left hand corner. I do like that though.
What?
What's the name to join the
Oh, it's somebody
Discord?
else?
Tint stuff, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
let me drop a link. Maybe that one's expired
He's gonna drop a link.
I'm gonna drop that. Copy. All right. Let me probably update this one.
Oh, God, I'm starving.
There you go. Okay, I did 1/4. I still gotta do the windshield strip. Man, I don't want to do windshield strip.
Oh, remember that the Nissan Envy, the big van we just got?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that windshield, it is no joke. I took a measurement on because there is no pattern for it, and I saw it as a hand cut it. That puppy was 77 inches long.
Oh,
It was so
Jesus.
big. It was obnoxiously large. I'm like, oh my God.
I've done a transit windshield, but that was still, I think, 60, like just under.
They're tall. The transit ones are tall. This
Yeah.
one was just stupid long.
Oh, okay.
Tint stuff. You need to turn me into an admin so I can
Why?
do stuff.
You
I
need
don't
to
know.
You need to earn your admin privileges.
Oh, moderator. I'm a moderator, not an admin. Don't ever add me to an admin.
What's that? Okay, that's a 300. All right, my 300's here. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta do windshield strip. Do you know how far down we're going on that windshield strip? Just whatever looks good. Okay.
Assumption based on the melanoma thing.
A little lower?
Yeah.
Okay. A little lower.
So you think you're going to San Antonio for sure or no?
I don't know for sure. I'm definitely gonna try. I mean, the timeline seems to be lining up okay, so that's a good thing. The only thing would be if we can't get I gotta book her a ticket because she's coming with. I'm not driving down there because that's just crazy talk.
Oh yeah, no, you got to fly for sure.
It's like a 24-hour drive from here.
Yeah, no. Well, she might like it. You know, get to see the
I
scenery.
wouldn't like it.
Oh.
Like she'd be
It'd be a beautiful
fine.
drive.
But it's like we gotta leave like 2 days in advance just to make it work.
It's quality time with loved ones.
Yeah.
Then she gets to see the beautiful countryside.
The beautiful countryside. Like
I don't know what Detroit looks like. It's green. Oklahoma is super flat. There's nothing there but grass and cows.
Yeah, it's like not that exciting.
Just fly over it. You can look down.
We'll do road trips later on, but it's like, so I've been here for like a month, and then a 24-hour road trip, and then like if we only had to drive one way, that'd be better, but then we gotta drive back.
It's a valid point.
I'm just like, I have a hard enough time driving down to Florida, and Florida's like 18 hours.
What are you driving down to Florida for? To see me?
No.
Oh.
I used to go to Florida every year.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, used to stay in the Orlando area. Oh, dude,
Oh, Orlando's only not too far.
I got a new light. This thing's awesome.
Let me see. I love toys.
It bends. It's super nice. It was at Harbor Freight for like $30, and it's not like chintzy. It feels like.
Ricardo Navarro says, "What's up, Matt?"
What up?
Ooh, I like that thing. That thing looks bright.
It is. It says how bright on the box. I just don't remember. I got 2 of them because they were like $30 a piece, and it feels a lot like the $80 light that I used to have. But I left that in a car.
Gotta have high lumens. Gotta be 5,000 lumens or higher. I feel every time I get a light that's like, I had a light that was like 3,200 lumens, and it was like barely could see anything.
Yeah.
Home Depot's got actually a really great LED light. Doesn't get hot and it's super bright. It was only like $25.
Does it fit in like the tighter deck lids? Because that's my main concern is like if it's too round, it doesn't fit in.
Oh, it's a big box. It's a big box for sure, but it's stupid bright, like stupid bright. So you can angle it and just shine it in there.
It's got to be hooked up to an outlet then.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Like I mean, now with my box, because now I have an extension cord right out of my box, so like all that little extra stuff is a lot easier. It's just because I can't rely on shops to have like any consistent extension cords or outlets or anything.
You don't bring out extension cords with you?
No, I do, because like none of them have like ceiling reels or whatever. It's like they'll have an obscure outlet tucked behind a shelf in the corner, and it's like, really? Like, you guys actually do work. Can you invest a little bit in like your electrical?
just like $30. It's not even a huge investment.
I know. Or like one of them is basically broken, so anytime you jiggle the cord, it just shuts off.
Oh,
It's like just fix this.
Oh, I figured out a possible problem with my garage. So I'm putting the code in. Like I have a clicker, right? But I only have one clicker, and it's in my car, and my car's in the garage. So, and since I live in an apartment, I have to walk to the garage, right? So there's a keypad on the outside. So I'm putting my code in, and it's not working. I'm like, what is going on? I put my code in, not working. And I'm like, what is going on? I have the only way to get in there is with the clicker, and the clicker's in the car, which is in the garage.
Yeah.
So, and maintenance doesn't open up until like 10 o'clock because it's Sunday or Saturday. And I'm the only asshole that works on a Saturday at 9 in the morning. So, like, they have this thing where it's basically a lock, and the lock is connected to a cable, which is connected to the emergency release inside the garage, right?
Yeah.
So all they have to do, if they don't have the code, they can put the key in, take the lock out, and then and then do that. So what I ended up doing was taking a couple bobby pins and picking the lock and getting the cylinder out and pulling the emergency thing so I can manually open the garage. And then when I got in there, the reason why the damn thing wasn't opening because there was no power to the garage. I'm like, oh. So I don't know if a breaker blew somewhere because they all share the same, and I don't get charged for electric, which I probably should because like I like you should see the garage. I have like
bright lights and
bright lights, and I have my AC unit hooked up to it. So, like I'm pulling so much power through this garage, it's crazy. And there's only 2 plugs, but each plug I have those breaker plugs, you know what I mean? That has the plug one in, and there's like 9 additional plugs.
Okay.
I have like 2 or 3 of them hooked up.
Yeah.
So that I have so much power. But the problem is if that happens, well, what'd you do?
Oh, the camera fell.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's okay. It's a roll and a USB camera. But I was Just trying to sneak the cable and
Hello?
it fell. What up?
Oh, the dang
What's
thing
up?
fell.
You dead.
Jaybird.
No, Jay Wise.
Oh, Jay Wise is here. Jay Bird
What's going
just hopped
on?
on.
What's up? Surprised this actually works.
The Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a high production video.
It had to be easy. Well, easy on everybody else's end. This is a little much on my end. I was looking in for a way
do you
for
speak
people
Spanish?
to call, but
Who, me?
Matt, I don't know if anyone speaks Spanish because someone just made a comment, but it's all in Spanish, and I have no idea what it is.
no, I don't either. Not unless they have translate or copy and paste it. But
Right?
it's probably
now there's another one in Spanish. Cuando pondrás traductor el español. Wow, that's like the whitest reading ever.
yeah, I wouldn't be any better. So
Gosh, we finished this car at 11 o'clock, and we're still the 12 o'clock, I guess, didn't show up. So now we're waiting at the 2 o'clock. And I just looked inside the office, and my dude is like passed out. He's either passed out or dead. It's one of the two. I don't know. I hope he's not dead. That's ruined my day. Gotta deal with cops and different things, explain stuff.
no, I was on a live chat the whole time, not murdering somebody.
Right? I have proof. Yeah, but even though I'm not worried that I get pinched for it, I'd get worried because it'd be like 4 or 5 hours you gotta talk to these cops about a murder to make sure that you didn't do it.
Don't have time for that, huh?
I had no time. That's why I tell people, like on holiday weekends, Memorial Day weekends, I tell people, I'm like, don't be doing something stupid and dying because I got no time to go to no funerals. Because I'm going to tell you, if I speak at your funeral, it's going to be like me saying, hey, I told him to be careful, and he was a dumbass and went on a motorcycle. Now he's dead. Sorry. Got no time for this. Got to go. Did 12 o'clock not show up? I mean, I know they didn't show up, but did they cancel?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
You have another one coming in now. This one with the Honda Accord.
Honda Accord?
Mm-hmm. He thought he was going to go in Pinnacle. We don't know yet.
2018? Those ones are so good because they just pop.
On the court. Oh, I just did one of those.
Me and Marty can 40 minutes. If I gotta wake him up if he ain't dead.
He asked me how long. I said, let me ask her.
Just tell him an hour. Tell him an hour so that when we pop it out in 45, he's happy.
I got
Under promise and over produce.
I'm gonna leave the stream on for the 300 and show you how it's done. Just leave everything on. Don't take anything off. Just turn the defrosters on for the back window. Like,
does the car have to be on for the defrosters to stay on?
I guess if it's past 2014. If it's before that, they had it wired up, so you didn't have to turn the car on. But I always just turned them on. I didn't know that until later. I hope this is sufficient.
It's coffee.
All right, done with that. Yeah, I gotta change my buttons on the remote. Sweet. All right, let's check this. Oh yeah, and this is like the worst time to do a live stream.
Why?
Because it's early on a Saturday. Is that a bad time? It sounds like it.
No. Nick Nimmin does this stuff like at 8:30.
Aren't people sleeping? I'd be sleeping.
Not if you're motivated to get into this tent life. Make $1
No.
million bucks.
I should probably announce it too or something. That's the thing.
Let me know how that goes, because every time I try to announce it and plan a stream, and I use that stream key, I've told you this, it's crap.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the better way to do it would probably just like a solid notification, like push notification when you actually go live. What's up?
What would you like for lunch?
Breakfast.
Yeah, one one's hungry. How are you want breakfast?
I'm cool with whatever, but if you get breakfast, that'd be cooler. Uh-oh. Did I get bumped out, or did somebody else get bumped out? Let me see. I think Patrick's gone. No, Patrick's still there. Let me join back in.
Hey, Matt.
Patrick, your audio disconnected. Ooh. It's... Okay. There we go. That gets a difference.
Can you hear me?
I can hear, yeah, J-Wise?
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
I was asked a question. I was doing this back windshield, and
Okay.
I creased it a little bit at the very bottom right corner. But how do you know when it's crease, like the film's creased and not just the liner's creased? Is there a way of telling that?
Oh, when you're shrinking it?
Yeah, when I was shrinking it.
Usually flip it over to the other side and you'll see a little bit of a bend there. Some, like, this is just something you learn with time, but some of them are worse than others, so you can get away with the little ones. At the bottom of, like, if it was at the top corner, you could also press it out on the inside, so even if it's a little bit creased, it's not that big of a deal, because then you can just warm it up and press it down. But at the bottom corner, it's so much harder to press any of that stuff out on the inside of the glass. The sure way to tell is just to install it and see how it looks afterwards. So, like, if it's full of water, it'll look like there's no crease, but then you press it out and then it still might look like there's something with it.
All right.
Alrighty. There we go. I'm just getting this one all cleaned up. And then I gotta pull this out. And I gotta put the next one in. Oh, but I can take my phone with me. This is not my source of Wi-Fi.
And the back.
There you are.
Strange. I went up to the front office, which is literally like next door, and it like crapped out on me. I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. Alright. I'm gonna do one car next. And then I'll show you how it's done. No. Cool. Upgrades.
It's like the perfect shop size. 2 bay doors, 2 cars.
Mm-hmm. And it's got
Burn
that
them and
back
turn them.
storage room too for all the film and whatnot.
God, he looked out on that place. That's a nice place.
Yeah, he did a lot to it as well. Like all the lighting, painted, did the floors, and we're just renting it too, so.
Oh, I bet the owners love that.
Yeah, they helped out with a little bit of it, because it just ups the value of the space overall. Because it was just it was pretty filthy when we got in here. But they did up the showroom. They also put in air conditioning too.
Oh,
They split the cost on that though.
I've never worked in a shop that has air conditioning.
It's pretty nice. This is
I'll
my second shop.
That has air conditioning, or a second shop in general?
Yeah, my dad's shop has air conditioning too, but that's not by his choice.
What the hell?
That was let's see.
I'll take a 10 grand pay cut for air conditioning. That's real life right now.
But yeah, in the extremes though, and as soon as winter comes around, you're like, I need that 10 grand back.
Right?
Just making sure this looks pretty.
It's funny, you got Jay Bird and you have Jay Wise. Well, Purple Platypus used to be Jay Wise. He changed his name, but
Oh,
Jay
okay,
Bird
just
and Jay Wise.
has that for his Discord name. Cool. Let's see. Jay Bird.
Jay Bird got a couple questions.
How much slime do you put in a gallon? It varies based on the condition. Usually I'll put like, I was only putting like half one of these bottles in, but now I've had to put like 3/4 of the bottle. So I don't know if they changed something or it's just the weather. Like the weather definitely has something to do with it, but it's been a little funky lately. All right. I'll probably drop out for a minute, but I will be right back with the 300. Oh. Let's close that. There we go.
Pat, when are you gonna live stream some Fortnite?
I don't know if people actually like that. I was having a talk with Matt, and I was thinking too. I was like, sometimes you just gotta say screw it and just do it. I am actually in the works of, because when I live streamed through, when I've done it the last couple of times, I just did it through the PS4, so it's not like a true like gamer live stream. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I think I'll do it again, maybe.
Yeah, they need to make a mobile platform like PUBG. I've been fanboying out on PUBG lately. So
I know they have it for Android and iPhone, but like the
yeah,
gameplay isn't as good as like if you're on
it's kind of
console.
hard to move your fingers around on the screen, a little small screen, but it does a trick, man. It looks good on there.
I was thinking about like adding sections to the channel, more like I was talking to Matt about this, about doing more of like a vlog too, in addition to like the trainings and stuff, just so people can kind of get like a more in-depth like about me personally,
Yeah,
if
like
they
when
like
you're
my
riding
stuff.
to work and stuff like that, filming the car, going to work or leaving.
Yeah, or just
Like
like
going to
day-to-day
lunch or
activity.
something, some oddball stuff.
Yeah, it's just so
You'd
people
be
get
surprised,
more of
though.
a personal
Yeah.
thing from me.
You'd be surprised, though. A lot of people like really get into that because it's it's more personal and you're getting, like you said, more into your life and I don't know, bring people in a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly, it's hard to do certain things and film yourself. Like I was trying to film myself when I was purchasing the material for a peel board. But when you're running through Lowe's with a camera and a mic and I'm trying to like hold on to eight 2x4s and stuff, it's a little bit of an undertaking.
Get you one of them little GoPro headgears while you're carrying the lumber.
Yeah, right. It's awkward enough walking around vlogging with a camera set up, but walking around with a GoPro strapped to my head, that just looks like it's like one of those things you can't not worry about what other people think, because it looks goofy, but it's not the point because they don't see it, they don't care, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, not everything is for everybody.
Exactly. You know what I saw just recently was it's a Netflix special about Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, I saw that.
Like people are talking about how like he's losing his mind and he's going crazy. But like I watched that documentary last night. He's like on a different wavelength. He's like Joe Rogan's the same way. Joe Rogan's like he thinks in a different way than most other people don't. Like I don't know. It's very interesting. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's very
If you
interesting.
watched Joe Rogan a few years ago, it kind of seems like there's eyes on him from a higher power, you know, because he don't have the same opinions or views on certain topics that he used to. It's kind of like government was like, hey, you need to chill out a little bit, you know. But I watch him every day, so like I know how he is. It may, you know, I don't know if you watch him like I do, but
But I recently started watching Rogan, like probably within the last like 3 or 4 months. So I never caught his older stuff. So I don't know how his mannerisms and stuff were back then.
But when his guests talk about something political, he'll make it a joke out of it. Whereas before, he was more like, hey, let's talk about this. And he'll go into detail. But now he just makes a joke out of it, like, it's all conspiracy. So it's just kind of weird, you know.
You do have, even though he's open-minded and speaks his mind, you do somewhat conform yourself to the bigger crowds because he's got a lot of people following him now. There's one thing when you have 100,000 people and it doesn't bring you a lot of income. But when your podcast is doing 2 million downloads a week and you have some serious sponsors, that's some serious revenue coming in. So you kind of have to shift. You don't want to change your values and your morals, but you have to kind of shape yourself slightly so that you know, so I can continue to do it. You know, if someone's paying you, you have to kind of shape up a little bit.
Well, Seinfeld has a different opinion. He says that he's a comedian, old school comedian. He don't care about other people's opinions. He's gonna, you know, do what he does best.
Yeah, and some of these cats, they have
now.
enough money, and it is what it is.
Uh-oh. He got dropped out.
Uh-oh. I know he was switching cars. I know that. But I do love his whole live stream setup.
I never even heard of Discord. Like, I like this. This is awesome.
Most people that have heard it was gaming.
Yeah.
Until they ran out. I used the 20, it's gone. I used the 15, it's gone. This usually happens.
I think I got it.
I had to get some film.
What's this error?
I don't know. I just decided to say that. So, use the 36? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
What up, Rick?
Patrick says hello. Why are you closing it? Just click X.
Oh.
They put more plastic on this. And that. Okay. I'm good.
You need Nova.
Hmm?
You need Nova.
Oh, we're doing Nova on this. Well, you're out of the other stuff anyway, so. So that's not bad. Good catch, though. I would have cut this out in the wrong film. What do I need? 15. 15 and 20? 5. 15 and 5. Nobody gets 15. What is this, 10? That's okay. I got it from here.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to yell at us.
It was fine. It was still working.
Nobody lost it.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Do I have to go live in order to talk to you?
Yeah. You have to join Discord. We're
What's up,
figuring
guys?
things out. What up? Who is this?
Jaybird.
Oh, okay.
Jaybird.
What's going on?
Oh my God, we got Jaybird and JY's in the house.
That's what's
Okay.
up.
It's gonna get confusing.
He's wiser than the bird.
Gotta be.
All right.
Yeah.
What am I even? Yeah, it's fine. Let's see.
I couldn't get it to work, and then I got it to work somehow. Went to the voice section.
What is it cutting? Yeah, you gotta go to the voice section of it.
These things are neat now that it's all connected. What kind of equipment do you have to do that?
To do the live stream, you don't need a whole lot. I went a little crazy though. You just C920 Logitech webcam, or you're talking about the plotter? I'm confused.
No. I'm talking about your camera there. To
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have two Logitech C920s, and then the mic is the expensive part. I have a wireless Sennheiser mic. That way I can just walk around everything. And then it's all just running to my laptop off of Wi-Fi right now. So I had to drop the quality down to 480 for it to run consistently, though. If you have a wired connection or a better connection, you can up the quality, or that could be the computer too as well, because it's not exactly a workhorse computer.
yeah. And then you just have Discord on the laptop, and that connects to the camera, or how does that work?
Yeah, so OBS is the software that I use. That's a live streaming software.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just group nest these and then cut. Okay, so I have OBS open on the laptop, and then the Discord open on the desktop as well. What? Oh, I guess it's doing all kinds of errors now.
So it's like you have two computers running, or?
Just the one, but I have like my headphones connected to Discord as well, so I can hear you guys. I have my mic connected to my computer, and I have my headset connected to my phone, and then that's why there's two Tint Stuff usernames.
Oh, okay. And so you can walk around and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I should do a video on the whole crazy setup, because there is a lot going on.
How did you figure that out? That's pretty neat.
Oh, this is being dumb now. I've always just been a tech enthusiast.
Well, that's neat though, to connect it live with the voice rather than the chat.
Yeah, because I mean, I tried setting it up, and then I noticed as soon as I had it set up, I had to keep jumping back and forth, and then that majorly distracts me from what's going on. But I'll talk to people on the phone all day. So I wanted I wanted to figure out a real easy method so people could watch what I'm doing, and then also just jump in and ask me questions, hang out for a little while, and then do whatever.
That is neat. I had to get some of that. I had to get some of that slime because I was using some generic baby shampoo, and that stuff just it wasn't sliding. It work in the morning, but in the middle of the day it was awful. It wasn't sliding and getting dirty specks and stuff.
The regular slime or the ultra?
I had to get the ultra because I had got that little sample, and so I bought a gallon.
Yeah.
And I was using just the generic baby shampoo, but when it got hot, it wasn't sliding no more.
Yeah, that's the problem I had with it too. The green has been around for a while, and it likes to stick in certain areas, and it just
Yeah. I had the green, but I liked the green, but I had to put too much, and I was like, what I mean? There's no way this is gonna. And the ultra is only like $1 more, for like $42, I think.
yeah, it's good stuff. I like it a lot. It's been a little bit weird lately. I don't know. I've just been messing around with it. Like it might be the hot weather, but I've had to put substantially more than I was putting in it. So I'm still like, I switched to it in the middle of the winter, and they advertise it as a slip solution made for hot/humid conditions. But in my opinion, it's just a better slip overall. It works very similar to baby shampoo, but it doesn't have some of the additives.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about it. So it's like I was still using it in the wintertime, no problem. You just put a little bit less in. It was just a better tint slime all around. And it cleans up a lot easier. So
Yeah,
I was really...
I saw that in the video when you were doing that SUV or something, that how you were I like that too, like how you on the door panels and then on the outside of the doors it doesn't get real greasy, you know?
Yeah. I didn't really even notice it until I started using Ultra. It's like, oh, this stuff just cleans up a lot faster. So
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
Whenever I use it too, I noticed like you said on the fingers and stuff, you can just stick it and go, and it makes your jobs faster, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything to save a little bit of time, because yeah, that would happen where like I'll show on this 300. Like anytime you get like a little finger or something on the inside on a defroster, you heat it up, you press it down, but then it takes forever for it to lay down.
Yeah.
And then you're messing around with it for like 10-20 minutes, and you just need it to lay down and then continue with the rest of the job. Where this stuff, it seemed like I was just heating up for like 20-30 seconds, and then it sticks down a lot faster.
And the baby shampoo would do kind of like that, but you had to have like very, very little, and then that was awful because you didn't have no slide, you know?
Yeah, so it's about finding that perfect balance between enough slipperiness and then you need it to tack up, and the Ultra seems to have a little bit of... Where is it? Is the 5 over here? There it is. There's the Nova 5. I swear to God, if I run out of this, I'm gonna be pissed. Supernova Nova. This is gonna be my third roll that... like every roll that I'm coming across today, I seem to be running out. So I get enough for... This will probably be good for the back doors, or for the back window and the quarters, and then I still need another roll for the back doors. God damn.
Just put the end of the roll that's wavy on the back doors where it hides.
I'm doing that on the back glass on this one, actually.
You know what I'm saying? When on the end of the roll, sometimes you get where it gets a little wavy and you see lines and little specks and weird stuff.
Yeah, it can. Some are better than others for sure. This one doesn't look bad. I'm putting it on the back glass, and with the shrinking of the back window too, everything should look okay. Oh
yeah, it helps.
I gotta let them know that I'm out of 5% again.
What I like about the slime, one more thing too, is that you could put a lot and it still dries good. You know, you still get your slide, and then it's still, when you heat it up, those fingers go out quick and you get the best of both worlds. You know.
Yeah. Where's Rick? He just took off? Oh, okay. I'll get him when he gets back. I need another roll of film. I think...
You guys do a lot of dark stuff?
Mostly in 20.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I'm out of Nova 5. It's 4th roll today. I guess I can cut the back doors out of it, and then I'll use a 24-inch on the back glass then. I don't know. I'm not here to use a plotter throughout the week. I know I can hand cut, but we don't do that here. Oh, man.
You guys use a plotter at that shop?
Probably not.
Hang on one second. What?
2361, probably not.
Okay.
I'll get you one.
All right.
I'll go introduce somewhere.
Well, I'll cut this back window out on this, and then I'll do the doors on the next roll.
You got a roll?
Yeah, it's got enough for a back window.
Oh, you can do the back window and the back
And the
doors.
quarters, I know.
No, the back window and the back doors.
Oh, all together on this?
Yeah. Yeah, click. this one and
Group now.
yeah, and then we do the doors separately too, and it should.
I don't have enough for the quarters though.
No, I mean if you put them in there, it would tuck them probably right there, but
We can see. Maybe I have just enough.
yeah, worst case scenario, it doesn't cut those.
Okay.
Pat, how's your hammock doing?
The hammock is doing phenomenal. It's working better now because I am on the downtime.
Nice.
Yeah, the owners like called me. They're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm right here." Like, "Where?" I'm like, "Look by the door." They're like, "We don't see you." I'm like, "You see my hand?" Because when I get in this hammock, I get like it tucks me in.
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm right here." They're like, "Is that a hammock?" I'm like, yeah."
Duh.
Gotta make your
I'm like-
tinners happy.
Well, I knew they wouldn't be upset. They're really, really cool. They're like, they treat everyone like family. Plus, there was no cars on the books. There's no film for me to wait. There's nothing for me to do at the shop. So I can only watch so many of Tint Stuff videos before I, have to go do something else.
Yeah.
And every now and then, it's just nice to find a place to pass out.
Yeah.
I just noticed when you talk, the little bubble around your name goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it pops up in the chat too, or on the video, so it shows who's
Yeah.
talking.
That's neat. That's neat.
Yeah, how did you do that?
I found a Discord extension for like they have a Discord OBS support. So if you just search, what did I search? I don't know, like Discord OBS. Ooh, we had just enough.
I find myself muting myself so whenever people are talking, there's not no background. That helps.
That's
Y'all
always
do
a
that?
good thing.
Yeah, that's good. And honestly, like, this is really just very experimental right now too. So, over the, if more people start jumping in, I can limit the number of people in one voice chat room, and then I can leave another one of them just open to more people. So we'll probably have to like slim it down just a little bit for like the live stream, and then, just play around with it.
Yeah, we got 6 people in this Discord right now.
But it's cool. Like, it doesn't seem like it's overcrowded right now. Everybody's been good, so.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm watching you all the way from Dublin in Ireland.
Oh,
I just started watching your videos because I have a Seat Leon and I wanted to tint my windows for a while, but I didn't want to pay the price. I'm not sure what prices you have over there, actually. Over here, it costs like €160 to tint the back 3 windows on your car. That's the equivalent of like $200. I'm not sure if it's the same over there.
for the back 3, it depends on where you are in America. So, like the more north you go, the more expensive it is. Like, we'll do the back. Like, you're talking a sedan or like a hatchback?
It's a Seat Leon. I'm not sure if you know that car. It's like a hatchback.
Okay, so you have like, are you talking literally the back 3 windows, or you got like the back doors and the little quarter windows?
No, the back door. So 2 windy windows and the little corner section, back doors, and then the back window.
Okay, we'd probably be in the range of like $150 here, so it is a little bit more expensive over there.
Yeah, just a little bit, $50. Anyways, I've been using, what is that called? American Standard Window Film. Is that the one?
ASWF? Yeah, I used to use them.
Yeah, so I got a bit of that. I got like 4 meters of it. But mainly I've been using just cheap eBay tints I get for like 12 or 13 euro. Just not much. I feel like a big roll, like you get like 6 meters of it, so it's good for practice.
Yeah.
But
it is.
yeah, so I'm doing well. My biggest issue right now is just shrinking the back window, even though it's almost flat. It's pretty ridiculous. But my biggest problem right now is getting felt under the tint. because my car has felt literally everywhere in the car, and it just flies around. And because it's old, it's 03, so the felt kind of gets a bit loose and it flies off. So
Yeah.
not sure if you've done a video on that before, have you?
No, I haven't done a video on dealing with felt. Usually it's
Yeah.
about just the finesse of the. Well, maybe I did. Did I do that?
Matt, you did it. Yeah, you did a video on it probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I watched it.
That's
taping the
why I
seal.
don't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I would have done back then is tape the seals. That can
Yeah,
help.
I
So if you
tried
get
that,
like.
and I still had just a few little specks, and it's not up to
Okay.
my standard. You know, I want a nice window tint.
Right. Well, I mean, especially when you're newer too, like older cars, felt stuff in the way. It's just like it's hard to have that compromise. I know when you're trying to get a perfect job, because I've been there too. But sometimes you just gotta like take a step back from it, and then you can also like press a little bit of it out. So you like heat it up on the outside, and then press it down a little bit, so it kind of hides it, but it's not gone.
Yeah, and I've done that.
But taping the seals is definitely something that you can try to do, and a lot of it just comes down to the finesse of the installation. So
Yeah.
it can just be tricky to learn. But
Well,
yeah,
for now it looks okay.
I used to use that film though.
Yeah,
ASWF.
well, majority of my car is covered in like I'm not even sure what the window tint is called. It's just very cheap tint. You get like 6 meters of it. It's not very tall. It's not very tall, but it's very long. It's basically enough to do your back window. That's how tall it is.
Yeah.
And you get like 6 meters of it for €13. That's very cheap. That's like $16 for a lot of tint.
Oh, you're talking off of eBay?
Yeah, it's a really cheap tint, but it works surprisingly well. It looks good. I'm not sure what the heat rejection is like, but the only bad thing about it is maybe that doesn't shrink as well, because I tried to do my friend's golf. He's a Mark 5 golf, and the back window is just a pain. It's very, very curvy.
I'm gonna have to buy a couple of cheap rolls on eBay and just see what they're like to play around with, because I can imagine that.
I can send you a link to the one I'm using.
Yeah, where can you? Yeah, just put that in the chat and then I'll bring it up.
Yeah, but the tint itself doesn't look so bad. I'm using like 35%. I never tried any other ones. I did get 70% for the front, hasn't come yet. But the guy on eBay is surprisingly good. The tint comes in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the
So it's not just
only
someone, like,
issues that
drop-shipping
you
or
really
whatever.
run into with like a film like that is like, I mean, good to practice with for installation, but not necessarily something that you want to like sell to customers.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I've been looking for that myself.
I got
actually.
the cheap film?
Yeah, like a cheaper film that's easy to work with that I can recommend to people for training purposes, because everybody's
it's
selling
not
like
bad at all.
expensive lifetime warranty film, but there's a lot of people that need something just to practice with, because there's no sense in throwing out $300 rolls just to practice.
Yeah, I paid like 45 euro for that WS or American Standard window film. I paid like 45 euro for that, and I only got like 4 meters of it. That went so quick. I still went back to using the eBay tint because I still knew I needed to practice. But I do regret not trying to shrink that film in the back window, because then I would know how it compares to this one.
Oh yeah, that would be good to know. Because it definitely could be just the film. There are a lot of films that are easier to work with than others, and then shrinking them on the doors will only tell you so much about a film.
Yeah, no, I didn't even shrink on the doors. My windows are pretty straight as they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they stuck well. The glue isn't as strong as the tint I was talking about, the American Standard one, but it does stick.
Well, that's good.
And now, well, I'm talking to someone with just I've done maybe I don't know. I kept doing the windows over and over to kind of get more experience.
Uh-huh.
And then I got like a friend's car and just was like, I'm going to tint your windows for you. And it's practicing that as well. But he has felt as well. I'm not sure how many cars have felt around the windows, but they're such a pain.
Yeah, especially the older ones because it does deteriorate. So there isn't a ton of new cars. Like more often than not, the mid-range cars are rubber seals, but like I'll come across like a Buick Regal or something over here that has felt seals.
And the most popular cars around here are the VAG cars, so Volkswagen, Fiat, Audis, and they're the ones that tend to have felt, especially the older ones.
Yeah, those are just, we get our fair share of them, but not near as many as I'm sure you get over there because it's just,
like,
more common.
Like every second car here is a Golf,
Mm-hmm.
Or like America, you guys don't have any Passats, I don't think.
Yeah.
But here they are everywhere. Like every corner you look at, there's a Passat.
But then it's like, what's that?
Is that Chrysler 300 the rear window on that? Is that equivalent to the Dodge Charger, like the curvature difficulty?
Not the curvature, but the defrosters are extremely similar.
Okay.
They're not. These aren't too bad to actually shrink. They're pretty straightforward because they're just shorter. What people run into is they'll install the film, and then these defrosters are thicker, so they'll let like air lines feed up from like where you shrunk. It'll like pop up, and people call them like peanuts or bananas, or nobody's got a real good name that I like, but worms or something else.
I heard
What do
somebody
you
call
do
them
for
pucker.
Yeah, there's a bunch of names. We need like a window tint dictionary.
What do you
And
do
then,
for those? Steel wool or backblade or?
No, I just turn on the defrosters. Like I need to start. I really want to start like a awareness month, like something really dumb, and then put it on a T-shirt or something. And like, cause I come across it all the time in like the Facebook groups where, somebody will run across that problem, or somebody will recommend backblading, or doing whatever else. And it's like, you don't need to sand. You don't need to do any of that. Just literally turn on the defrosters, and you'll be fine.
And you install it while the defroster's on real quick?
Yeah, so like 30 seconds to a minute before I go to install the film. Basically, it's just, you want to get it hot. So start the car. Did somebody steal the stool? I'm losing my mind, man. I got a bunch of stuff. So like a minute before you go to install the film, just turn on the car, clean the glass, and then when you go to install it, it'll all be nice and hot. And those defrosters are thicker, so they get a lot hotter than most defrosters, so that's why it helps grab the film. If you forget to turn on the defrosters before the film is on the glass, you're gonna have problems. So you always have to turn it on before you stick the film to the glass, because I've done that too, where I have, like, I'll put the film on the glass, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't turn the defrosters on. And then I go to turn the defrosters on, and then it actually makes it worse.
Yeah, you get those dry spots, no? Like you try to push them out and you get those weird dry spots or they don't lay down.
You could get dry, not so much that with the rear defrost, but like, I mean, when it's nice and hot, you can come across that. But when you get the film on the glass, and then turn the defrosters on, it actually creates like more fingers and worms and bananas to work with, and it screws you up. So after I do these doors, that's what I really want to show on this 300. Oh yeah, and I got felt seals on these too. So like, really, I've done a ton of these 300s. We get them all the time, so a lot of it just comes down to installation technique, and that just takes a long time to get used to. There's little things that you can do here and there, but overall, it's just experience and practice.
You don't tape the hairs no more.
Nope.
Just stay away from them when you angle it in.
Yeah, really just try and simplify it as much as possible. Like sometimes it's like you can run into problems by just like overthinking it.
Yeah.
So when I was teaching people, I would see them like they were up to like 5 hours a car, and really a lot of that was just like over cleaning the glass, just excessive steps. And there's just some simple things that you can do, and as long as you do them well, everything goes a lot easier.
I see you using use that gator blade on all the new cars.
Yeah, I use it on pretty much everything. It's like an expensive razor blade. It's not as sharp as a razor blade, so like if you run across a sticker, it's not going to really scrape it off as well, but it'll get like the majority of the stuff off. So you can see like I started with this edge, and then I'm going to come over and tuck this edge in, and then just leave this like right here like that.
Is that gator blade safe like on those new cars that have the laminated glass on the front doors?
Yep, this actually has laminated glass on it.
Yeah, those front doors. A lot of those front doors been coming like that. And one time I bladed one a little bit and I seen fine little scratches. So I just scrub them, or I want to buy that gator blade and try that.
I'm not sure why. Like maybe it was just a poorly manufactured piece of glass, but like razor blades and plastic cards are pretty safe on like all windows. Really, unless you're like just using it wrong. So like I always keep a razor blade at a real like low angle to the window.
Yeah.
So now that I got this tacked up in place, I'm gonna roll this up. And there we go.
Use the stainless or the carbon blades?
What are they? I think they're
Or
stainless
the-
blades.
For the
They still
scraping?
rust. Wait, no. They do rust, so they gotta, they're not carbon. I think they're just, I don't know. They're not expensive razor blades, I know that, but they do rust.
Yeah, so they must not be the stainless. I just use those ones too.
So then we just tuck this right in. See, the hardest part is really just figuring out a consistent method for tucking these, or for tucking windows in general. And once you figure that out, everything just becomes a lot easier for installation. So I'll start with I'll pretty much work on the corners. And then
Is that
this,
is the shank better than the easy reach?
yes, for tucking film, it's way better. I used to use the Easy Reach, and I still use the Easy Reach, but it can scratch film, so you got to be a little careful with it. But what this does is it frees up more space for you to tuck the film in because it's got this angle. So it's just got this funny little angle, so it fits right in the channel, and then it creates enough space. Like it was funny when I first saw it. I thought it was like, it's just a funny little butter knife. How is that helpful? And then I ignored it. And then 4 or 5 years later, somebody else recommended it, and I kind of laughed. And he's like, no, seriously, try it. And then I tried it, and I was like, Jesus Christ. This is so much better.
Rob Forbes use that.
Yeah,
Rob
he
Forbes.
actually introduced me into the Easy Reach back in the day. But I hadn't seen him use that because I hadn't seen him tint past that for a little while. He's in the same area that we are actually, so I run into him here and there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's in Michigan. He is actually one of the guys that taught me originally. So I learned from like a number of people, but I actually trained with him for a little bit.
Rob Ford, I think his tint dude name is Shady Tints or something like that. Or...
Yeah, he's on some next level shit for some of the things that he comes up with. Like, I hadn't seen anybody use a torch, and he was the first one that showed me that. He's got a video on his channel of him using a torpedo propane heater, which
Oh,
is
I
just
seen
nuts.
that big old thing on the back window.
Yep. Yeah, that was just fun. That's his HHR that he used it on too, so it was just cool.
He uses the. I like how he uses. I want to learn how to use that torch. He uses that TS8000 on everything.
Yeah, I was practicing with it in one of my videos. I haven't really picked it up much since, but I understand it a lot more now. Let's see. Yeah, let's move
My
this
problem is
closer.
I saw you do. My problem is I overheat it. I think I need to overheat and gotta keep it moving or something. Like I saw your video on that one side. It went real smooth, you know.
Yeah, and that's really what it's about, is just finding that sweet spot, and just going real easy with it. So it can be difficult to learn. You'll definitely scrap some film. I had my fair share of issues with it, but like if you understand shrinking, like I used to, like a lot of my videos, I've changed up my technique just a little bit. And really, I didn't understand heating the way, or shrinking the film the way I do, until like mid last year, or maybe a little bit before that, because I would always shrink the same way. And then I started watching pull shrinking a little bit more, and then I started trying to do it myself. This has something on the glass. See, there's like a glue or an adhesive on here, so I'll use a razor blade on this one just because I come across it. So this is good for just scraping regular stuff, but I'll still use a razor blade if I come across glues or something.
Yeah, for just
looks
that
like
small area.
Yeah, it looks like a dealer sticker or something.
What I was watching, I liked about Rob was everything's cordless. You know, because I got a cordless light now, and everything's cordless. The way he runs around with the torch and everything. You know?
Yeah, I do appreciate that. So it might benefit me to just hang on to like a torch for those certain situations, but I'm usually at different shops instead of like people's houses and stuff, so they at least have electrical outlets. Thank God.
Yeah.
So like I know some people don't have power that runs out to their garage or whatever, but I don't tint outside ever.
Yeah. I guess that's
But
just good. Like if the power ever goes out or something, you know, they work.
If the power, like I'll use that as my excuse to take the rest of the day off.
Yeah. So you don't
like
want to start.
The power's on often enough, so it's like if I could just, it's like okay, we're gonna call it today.
Yeah. I tried it and I couldn't really get the hang of it, but it's like I really didn't want to waste a crap load of film, you know, just to learn it.
Yeah. So as soon as what's that?
Get the cheap tint and the.
That's what I was thinking. The cheap tint from eBay.
Did you put a link in the? I haven't checked the chat. I need to check the chat. Did you put a link in the chat so I can look at that film?
I did, but I'm not sure if they delivered to the US. You can try though.
Okay. Maybe if it's got just a general name brand that I can do a little research on, or like I know it's probably going to be pretty generic, but if they sell to the US, I just want to try and find a couple of things.
He does himself, I think.
I was talking to manufacturers on like B stock, but I haven't found any yet. So I'm still looking. Like sometimes they'll basically have runs of film that aren't acceptable for just general consumers. Like there'll be defects or flaws or something. So if I can get a hold of that for real cheap, then I could just sell that. But finding inexpensive rolls, I think, is definitely something that's needed. Everybody's looking to sell high-end stuff, and it's like, well, people need to learn too, so they're not going to buy your film and waste $1,000 just to learn. Like it's just not beneficial. So that would irritate the hell out of me. And then you get nervous like about learning.
Yeah, because you're spending so much money. Like I spent maybe €120 on my car so far. Would have done each window like two or three times, you know.
That was
what
was cool about running my my training class too. Is I noticed that it's just like there's a few things I didn't even think about because it'd been a while since I first learned. And one of the things for sure was like there was a nervousness about just, you know, it's like, oh, we don't have to worry about wasting money. Like this is all provided in the class. So then it's like, yeah, have at it. Car's a rental too, so if you screw that up, it's under insurance. So I guess that's how Lumar does their training classes too and stuff like that. So they just rent cars and then whatever, you know, it's like if a little thing happens, it's not a big deal.
I know one thing I found when I first started out is, you know, you spend $120, $150 on a roll of film.
Yeah.
But I would just do an easy vehicle like a 2-door pickup or something and get like half that money back. You know, that way, you know, the next box you get, when you go through that box real fast, it won't be as expensive, you know? Something you're confident on, a vehicle you're confident on.
That's a real good way to do things. I would highly recommend that. Somebody I was talking to though, like, it was it's a little frustrating because it's like every car that he brought up was like, he's like, I got a Thunderbird, I got a G8, my buddy's got like a 90s Camaro. I'm like, Jesus, man, it's like, go find yourself a nice, easy Chevy Cruze or something and like practice on that. It's like the G8's not terrible, but it's got a few funny things on the side seals that can throw you for a loop. But yeah, if you can find like a buddy with a truck or something that needs the front doors and just tin them for like, you know, $40, then you're not only inexpensive, like that's a pretty good deal on getting some front doors done. And then also it's like, yeah, you made your cash back on that roll somewhat, and then you can practice. So, and like, just don't promise anything, like, because that's one thing the students were talking to me about too a little bit was, you know, or no, somebody else was, sorry. They would mention they were too nervous to approach customers because they feel like they would let them down or something like that. And it's like, just be upfront about it. Just like, don't overprice yourself in the beginning necessarily. You know, try and go after friends and family and people that know you. And then if you can find something like that just to make a couple of dollars, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, my first car was a 2009 Camry, 4-door Camry. It was very dirty. It was the dude, he's avid smoker, and it was like dusty in there, and there's smoke ashes, and I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be horrible. I ended up doing it. It turned out pretty good for my first full vehicle I did. But yeah, he's like, well, how much you want to pay? I said, look, I told him just give me 100. So he's like, how about 140? I was like, okay.
Nice.
So, you know, you surprise yourself once you do the vehicle. It's intimidating at first, but once you do it, you know, you may mess up. It's like, dang, you know, I finished that. So you're pretty proud of it. You know, you got little mistakes, but you're still proud that you actually tinted a full vehicle. So I like that.
How long did it take you?
A lot. Do what?
What was that?
How long did it take you?
Oh my God, it took me 4.5 hours to do a Camry.
Oh,
hey,
good.
actually, that's not even
that's not bad,
too
though.
bad. Not for your first.
Yeah, I messed up the back window once. I had to redo the back window once, and the rest of the car was just a breeze after I did the back window. So
nice.
Yeah, something really, really, really helped me was Ralph Van Pelt when he on the back glass he blows the hot air underneath the film at the top, and then comes back on top of the film and spreads the heat. That's helped me so much, man. That technique is awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot. I kind of picked that up in my own way. That's why, like, you kind of just learn a different way of shrinking over time. Like if you learn how to like pull shrinking, but it's just, you don't have to just divide things into fingers and shrink that way. It's like the film's a lot more flexible, and you can actually like unshrink certain areas kind of, and there's like lots of little techniques that you pick up over time.
I found myself messing with the film too much, like making it vertical way too many times when I'm shrinking. Like I keep just messing with it, and instead of just, you know, heating it up and then pushing the fingers down further, I just keep messing with it. I feel like if it's not exactly vertical, I'm gonna mess up or crease it. So it's just, it takes time. It definitely does. But I got my own technique down. I'm doing pretty well, actually. I learned from you and Pat, so.
Oh, nice.
Pat, so that's awesome. Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, and that's why it's like, it's cool talking to you guys to get this kind of perspective and learn what kind of helps you and what has helped. Like, you know, we put out videos, we see some comments, and it's like, you can't really put like a name or a face or a voice or whatever to who you're talking to, so it kind of, you know, you lose that personal connection. Stuff like this is super cool, though. Figure out what actually works for you guys and what has worked. And
yeah, I give props to you too, because I mean it is really hard to make videos on the same techniques and topics, you know, day in day out, you know, and it feels like people are asking the same questions over and over, which is cool. But like my thing is, when I actually did it, went outside and did it, you know, you kind of get used to it. So instead of asking questions over and over and over, just do it and mess up multiple times, and eventually you're gonna get good at it, at whatever thing you're messing up on. So.
Yeah, for sure. And like you don't really, it's hard too, because you don't have the opportunity to like necessarily watch somebody else do it unless they're putting out a video or going live or something like that, because unless you can like swing into a shop and they don't mind you watching or whatever. But yeah, I've always just like, you know, I kind of grew up around the auto accessories space, so I at least had the benefit of being able to kind of watch some other people first a little bit, and then just kind of got thrown into it. But I've always been around auto accessory places, so like I'd run across other tinners and like other people and stuff like that. So I at least had the opportunity to watch multiple people. Now it's you know, a lot of people are kind of on their own when they're trying to figure all this out. So
you know, you're the only person that has done a video on. That's what I've been looking up, because I've been buying the cheap tint, and you're the only guy on that.
That has a video on inexpensive film?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember.
And I wish you made one about you should do one on maybe not the same film you use, but I don't know.
Just another one on inexpensive ways to get film?
No, I mean like a video on how to shrink cheap film, like, because they are more difficult to shrink than some of the ones I'm guessing. They probably are. But,
I like that idea for
sure
video
there's a way
too.
to deal with it.
I have thought about that. Like, what's an inexpensive way to either tint a car or like get like where to find film online or whatever, and then I could just like make a video of like ordering film on Amazon, whatever I find, and then just try a couple of them out and then just post a video like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, plus that Amazon affiliate revenue. Go on.
Yeah, that would help for sure. Like, my God, YouTube is a pain in the ass for trying to make any kind of revenue unless you like have sponsorships or whatever. Their ad revenue has gone so far downhill.
Hey Matt,
that's why nobody
that video you did
really
like
goes for
4
that.
years ago.
Which one?
No, you talking to me?
Yeah.
I think you did a video 4 years ago on the eBay tint. You was trying to tint with the eBay tint. But my question is, like, if someone start out, that's the cheapest way possible to start out is using eBay tint. But like, if you're installing eBay tint and learning from eBay tint, will that impair your results, or when you get into a better film, will that hurt you, or can you only gain from that? I mean,
That's a good question too. It depends on what kind of eBay film you're coming across. So like, overall, no, you definitely learn more from just experience. But the things that you could run into are, one, difficult film to shrink, and the biggest one that I could see is like a 1 millimeter film versus like a 1.5 millimeter film. So I only install 1.5 millimeter films, and they're typically twice as expensive. At least as far as like just like inexpensive films online, like they'll call them 1-ply or 2-ply. So if you're using like a 1 millimeter film, it's a lot thinner, and it can be easier to shrink because there's less material to work with. but it can also be difficult to install on doors because it crinkles up a little bit faster. It's just a lot more flexible. And then when you jump to 1.5 mil, all of a sudden everything will be a lot more rigid. So it'll be real, it can be like you create creases a lot easier when you're trying to install. So, but it's like, it was easier to install on a back window. So it's like, for me, it was easier to install 1 mil film on doors when I was learning, and then 1.5 mil film on back window. But I always just kept the same film. I was using Lumar at the time at my dad's shop. That stuff, we were using Lumar AT, and then they discontinued it. That was a 1 mil film. And some companies, there's still a lot of companies that sell 1 millimeter films, but everybody pretty much recommends 1.5 millimeter films, just because there's more material. They can put more in the film that just helps, make it last longer. But I could see like coming across an eBay roll for like $60, like for like a long roll, and then burning through a lot of film learning, and then all of a sudden you get some nice quality film, and it's just way different to work with because now it's a nicer quality film that's a 1.5 mil film, and you're just not used to shrinking it. But you would still learn practical things from like regular film installation, like some general shrinking principles, installation, and some other stuff too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but as you were saying with the shrinking, if you can shrink the cheap film, I would say you can shrink the more expensive film, because I found it pretty tough to shrink the more expensive or the cheaper film, just because of the quality of it, I guess. But the film did actually feel about the same weight, the same shade. It was very, very, very similar to the more expensive tint I got, the American Standard, whatever. The only difference I noticed was.
And then, like, if going even past that, like, if you're running into carbon and ceramic films, those shrink a little bit more difficult too as well. So every film, it's like the higher you go doesn't necessarily mean the easier it is to work with. It can just mean better performance overall. So it's interesting to find a good balance between a film that's relatively easy to work with, because if you like shoot all the way up to like 3M crystalline, that stuff was I tried installing it one time on a car because I just never had the opportunity to. You need a whole different shrinking technique, I guess, to kind of work with the film, because it just wasn't working. Like, you need to do a lot more like I guess balloon shrinking or something. I saw a video about it before, but it wasn't something that I was very experienced with.
One thing.
I started out on ceramic film.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I probably hurt myself like doing that way.
Oh, okay. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it can just be a little bit misleading.
What would you recommend in terms of performance and ease of use? So something that's easy to apply.
Something that
like
I'm using right.
Yeah,
it's really like what I'm installing right now. Hanita. Hanita Sigma Pro, or they just put out a color stable dyed film. That's the stuff I'm using right now. I'm a big fan of this stuff. It's kind of like my perfect window film. You need to get around? Okay. It's kind of like my perfect window film right now as far as just a regular color stable dyed film. It's called Hanita NR. It's not the most expensive color stable film on the market. It's very easy to work with as far as shrinking. The color is great, and the glue on it is something a little bit different. So a lot of films leave glue on the window when you go to remove it, and then this stuff kind of peels off with it. Huh?
Yeah, I think mine's pressure sensitive.
This is
tacks
Nova.
really quick.
Yeah, I noticed that the American Standard film left literally all the glue on the glass, but the cheap Stuff didn't.
I should
So
probably
that's
he made sure. Sorry, 1 second. I should probably clarify something. This is Helios Nova, but it's still pretty straightforward to work with. The Hanita NR are, did I install Sigma Pro? I either installed Sigma Pro or NR. I think I installed NR on the car that I did before. Oh, I don't want to trip this. It's very easy to work with, though. Everything that I said still stands. It's just not the film that I'm working with right now. I forgot.
And how much would
Getting
that run you,
distracted.
like, retail?
Retail on the NR was $265 for a 60-inch roll. And
60
most
inch,
colors,
let me check that.
yeah. And most color stable dyed films are gonna run you around 300.
Hold on, is that the height of it, or what length is the film for that price?
Oh, 60 inch by 100 feet is usually how I go by pricing rolls, and then you know, you compare it. You can compare it down from there.
Yeah.
So we do distribution out of this shop as well. Like it's not my company. I don't make money off of it, but that's just how I get my.
No, I
film.
know. What was the price of it again?
$265
Two-
for $265 US. But that's, see, I know there's some problems with shipping international, but that company does have distribution overseas too as well, because they're manufactured out of Israel. So they're not an American company. They're actually just bought by Avery Dennison.
Hmm.
And Avery Dennison.
You ever heard of Fahrenheit, Matt?
Fahrenheit?
It's a white box with blue letters.
No, like it sounds familiar, but it's definitely not like a popular name brand that I've heard or recognized. Like, and you don't even need a super popular one, but
yeah, I think it's pressure sensitive film. Like the adhesive is very strong on it. Like I actually don't like it, but it was given to me, so I was like, let's try it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's definitely worth trying. It's one thing that you definitely want to do is just trying to figure out where it's manufactured or like what the technology is behind it, because I mean there's a lot of films floating around in the U.S. That are just like, you know, it all comes from the same place. It can be called a million different things, but it's all basically, you know, the same type of dyed film or maybe tweaked just a little bit, but there's a lot of the same characteristics from film to film.
Yeah, I've been using Global. I really like Global. Like I think for beginners, it's very forgiving. I guess that's the word I'm trying to use. It's nice. I love it.
I don't have a very much experience with Global, but yeah, it is a solid film. I know people that have been using it for a long time. It's just got that same adhesive problem. Like when you go to remove it, it leaves a lot of glue behind. That's my only gripe with it. So if that doesn't bother you at all, like it's a film that's not going to let you down years down the road. It'll hold up, good to work with, and it looks really good too. So you got a good film there.
It's a very deep black. I love it. It's a very nice color to it.
Yeah.
Sticks good for no peanuts.
Oh, does it stick down real well for that?
Yeah.
That can play a
What I
factor in it too. Just a different style adhesive. Some stick better than others to defrosters. So, yeah, for sure.
What I noticed too on the rear is if you keep like a little lighter solution in a spray bottle, it helps too for that to stick too. Because I used to use Dawn, and when I used Dawn with some Johnson or something, man, those things would pop up all over, you know.
Yeah.
But
Or you could be not squeegeeing it hard enough, or going over it multiple times with a squeegee. I found that's my problem too.
That too,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. All three of those.
I've had it where like I'll squeegee it down plenty, and then it's like you wait like 10 or 15 seconds, and then you start seeing them pop up, and then you go to squeegee them down again. And
Yeah,
Is that too much solution? Is that
Yeah,
where I do
yeah,
that?
that's what it is. I used to use Dawn, and one time I did that, and they were all over the place. But I noticed if you go like light on your mix, whether it's slime, Dawn, or baby shampoo, when you go light on your mix, it lets it stick up. Like one time I put too much solution. I was using Dawn, and I tinted the whole window, and the top. I took it outside, and the whole top of the film started rolling off the matrix. Because I like a lot of slip to clean and slip, and I pulled it back in, and I had so much solution I was able to save it. But if that sucker would have stayed in the sun, it would have left that nasty line around where it was hanging.
Yeah,
I
that's
would like
definitely. That
I would
definitely
have had
could
a
be a
really
sign of too much.
Yeah, too much, and then also if the film's too long around the matrix, it doesn't like to lay down. Sometimes it likes to peel off.
Yeah, that could be also, like, sometimes there's like weird coatings on glass too that makes the film harder to stick down. Usually just like, a mounting solution versus a soap or
That
works.
that live stream you did the other day, Matt, when you was doing that pickup truck, you was doing the back window. I was hoping for the best, but I was cringing the whole time. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna turn out so bad. But you did. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, where you threw it in there and just cut it afterwards?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was expecting
I've
the
never
same
seen anybody
thing
do
when
that
I
before.
first saw that. But yeah, that method, I saw a guy, like we just didn't have time. It was at my dad's shop, and we were like, we had a bunch of cars to do, and then all of a sudden it's just like, screw it. He threw the film in, cut it out, and then he's like, oh, that turned out really well. And then I was like, no shit. So I just started doing it ever since.
Borders, though, don't it?
It does have decent sized borders. It's not like crazy big. Some of them are better than others, but more often than not, the only time I don't do it on a truck is like if it's a like an older F-250 with like rubber set seals or something like that. It's got to have a ceramic border, and it's got to be. It doesn't have to be like super clean, but it the dirtier it is, like if it's been down dusty roads and stuff like that, you got to be a little more careful.
Yeah. I did a 96
I've been
C10 pickup, and that was ridiculous, the cleaning I had to do, prepping. I hated it.
I'm going to check the chat real quick. I've been ignoring this. Oh, there hasn't really been much chat.
On those back windows, I just been using an old liner whenever they have the, what is it called, the headache rack or something, that thing in the bed where you can't even get to the back window to cut it out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's another reason. Like,
Yeah.
they'll either have like, I've come across all kinds of things. Like, if it's a tow truck, they have the whole frame in the back that gets in the way, or a toolbox or something else. So we're gonna shrink this. This is pretty straightforward, just from how short this back window is. But I should probably get that other camera a little.
How much margin do you leave beyond the matrix when you do on the back window? I find that leaving more space makes it kind of easier to shrink.
Yeah. So
And
if
then
you
just
leave more space on the top and the bottom, it just gives you more material to work with. And then you can also, like, if you burn an edge, you could shift the film up if you haven't cut the bottom too short. So, like right now I only have probably about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. But some of the, like if I'm just, like, mainly that's just because I cut it off of a plotter. But if I was just bulk rolling this, I'll just leave whatever's convenient. So they'll usually be like a couple inches past.
Oh, okay.
If you get a real easy film to work
quickly.
with, though, you can cut it exact and then just shrink it down and then not have to worry about cutting it after.
Yeah. So my window on my car is about as curved as that, I'd say. Maybe, I won't even say, so maybe as curved as the car beside the one you're doing there. And it just took me forever to shrink it like you were now. Maybe my heat guns are not hot enough, I don't know.
Could be. This one is, what does this go up to? This 1500 watt heat gun. It goes over, I think, 1,000 degrees, right around there. Like anywhere from 750 up. Like 750 is usually on the light side. That's the cheaper Wagners, but they still work. But this one, this Porter cable, it blows a lot more air. I've been a big fan of these. And this thing seems to be built like a tank. I've been rolling around with the same heat gun for easily over 8 months now, possibly longer than that. Usually the little Wagner ones die within like 6 months to sometimes even shorter than that.
I was watching some guy on he said he gets a new heat gun every 3 months because they just go on them. Either just does a load of cars or doesn't take care of it. I don't know.
Yeah, the heating elements and just throwing it around, it can just burn out pretty quickly.
I've been using a Harbor Freight one for they're like $10, and I've been using one for like 6 months, and I have this expensive Black & Decker, like a $40 one or 35 or something.
Yep.
And I wouldn't use those Harbor Freight ones because I'd buy the little orange ones that I bring them home, and they'd last like 1 car or 2 cars. And my dad brought me a couple of those $10 ones, and I said, "What are these piece of junks gonna do?" And they actually, like this Porter cable, they actually blow more air, and that Black & Decker gets hot, but it doesn't have that airflow. So I've had 2 of these ones. They're like a blue color now. They're not those cheap orange ones, and I've been using that one for 6 months, and I still have the other one in the box. But that airflow helps a lot when that air's flowing, and it's hot, because the other one's it's just flowing at the tip real short, but that airflow. And I seen another guy on here, I forgot what his name is, Joe Rachel. He has some videos, and he was using the same little guns, and I said, wow. But at least they made something that lasts.
Those were really popular. I still like them. They put out plenty of heat and enough air. The only problem I had was the switches would often be the thing that went. So if you could put a different switch on it, like that would be the first thing to go. All of a sudden it just wouldn't turn on.
That's what happened on those orange ones, right?
Yeah. So if they've changed that up, those are pretty solid guns, especially for the price.
Yeah, and they changed the whole gun. Now it's like a blue or something like that. And I said, I'm not gonna use these piece of junks because I live like an hour away from Harbor Freight, because I can't go trade them in every day, And I actually saw Joe Rachel was using that style, and he buys about 5 of them at a time. He said, $50 for 5. But I was like, I noticed right away over the other one I was using, that airflow you're talking about. I want to get one of those Porter cables that you have, but that airflow, it helps a lot, because it just it pushes where you want to go and shrinks the price.
The Porter cables definitely have the same type of airflow to them, which is one reason I like them. And they're like, I'd say it's worth the extra money, because I've bought like what was it? I bought the Milwaukee. I've bought the Wagners. I've bought like all the Wagners, even the newer versions. I've spent $80 on multiple guns. The only things that I want to try now past this Porter cable are the Steinel heat guns. Those are like $200, but it's a heat gun manufacturer. Like they're no joke.
Yeah, I had that Wagner. It just don't blow hard enough. Like they don't.
Yeah, it's funny to start out with that and then move to a better heat gun and then go back to it. It's like, oh, this thing's like a little toy.
It seems like it takes
pretty
longer.
good bit though. Pretty surprised.
Yeah, we'd go through, like I used those for years. Like that was my go-to heat gun, just because like they were cheap. We could throw them around. We didn't really worry about them, and then we'd end up replacing them.
One of my friends ran over his a lot, and he was still using it.
Yep. They take some abuse, man. I threw mine around the ground and everything, and it just scars, and I've burnt plastic with it, and it don't give up, man. It's a trooper.
I go until it's spitting fire, so like until the very last little like shock it fizzles out, like I'll still be using that thing. It'll like rev up and then go back down. So
have you ever been using your heat gun so long and you're shrinking over a window, and then one of those little plastic pieces falls out and hits the tint and melts it?
No, I ain't had that problem.
I've seen it spit hot chunks, but it hasn't melted my
Yeah.
tint.
Yeah, but sometimes even the little, the little plastic elements, sometimes they'll fly out and it'll be hot, and it'll, so that's when you use the heck out of it.
Right. Okay, so right now I'm cleaning the inside of this back window. I haven't like scraped it or anything like that. I'm just spraying it, squeegee it a couple of times. Right now I turned the car on. I have the defrosters on. So I'm just kind of taking a little bit of time to let this back glass warm up. And then when I do that, it'll get nice and hot, and then you can almost see it steam, depending on the weather, too. It's air conditioned, so you might see it steam. It depends on how hot the glass gets, but that'll definitely help this stick down better. It's not 100% perfect, so you might still have to press one or two down. And then you also have like, on this one, or is it the chargers? Yeah, you have antenna lines up here too. So this part of the glass too can still give you a little bit of a headache. But overall, this method...
Hey Matt, when you first started out, do you find yourself prepping the inside of the back glass too many times? Like I literally clean it like 3 times. I'm never satisfied. It's either gonna be like one speck of dust. I'm gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm sure I used to. It's hard to remember exactly what I did and didn't do, but
I noticed you guys, when
honestly,
you do it, like you do it like twice and you're done
Yep.
with it. I'm like, wow, you just put it on there. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm like OCD about it. Like it has to be clean. I don't even know if so.
and like you can still get little stuff if you're not careful, but yeah, like honestly, go over it with your hand, feel for stuff, like if you notice any like something sticky or whatever. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's mostly just like scraping off a fine layer, and then once you go over it like once and twice to be sure, everything lays down pretty well.
Is that soap on the back window or dryer sheet?
That's a dryer sheet on the back window.
Okay.
So this is warm. It makes it a little harder to position.
Yeah.
But the glass definitely feels warm. So I'm just sliding this into place now, and I also am a little bit more careful about how I squeegee this window out too, because you can get air trapped in it still. If you do, you can still peel it back and spray it down, and you'll be okay. But you want to just be as careful as you can, because if you just get trapped air, it doesn't look good. So I'll start from just like the middle and just kind of work my way out straight, left and right, and that's really like the only difference. Or I do stuff like this on most back windows, but like.
Is it better just to like, now that you're doing it, is it better just to like double squeeze it right away and get away from it? Because I noticed when I go back to it and like walk away and then go try to blue max it again or hard tool it again, it could take like glue streaks around, you know what I mean?
It depends on how tacked up it is. If I were to let this sit for like 15-20 minutes, I probably wouldn't go over it again. Like, so it's like you just go over it like 2 or 3 times, wipe off the outside, give it a good once over, see what you missed. If you missed anything, touch all that stuff up. Just make sure you got out as much as you could. And then if everything looks fine, just leave it. There's no sense in going over it again.
When you get like a stubborn peanut, do you just push it to the line or do you cut the line sometimes?
I have cut the line, but we'll see if something pops up. I'll heat the outside of the glass, and then I'll try and press it down. Those are when those get real time consuming.
Yeah.
So like with like baby shampoo and stuff like that, that's what people spend 15-20 minutes trying to fix on these 300s and chargers and stuff like that, which is why I turn the defrosters on. It does a real good job of locking everything down the first time, and then you're not going back and fighting with it, because the thicker defrosters open up air channels, and as soon as that water gets out of there, air feeds back into the film and creates those pockets.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I've never seen it done. That's neat to see it done.
We will spray this off. And then let's take this off. And you'll see this is all live, which is cool. I haven't done one of these live, so.
Is there a way to talk and then see the video at the same time on your same phone, or?
So I can see it, or so you guys can see it.
Oh, no, so me, what I'm doing right now is on 2 phones, but there's a delay between both of them.
I got like
Yeah.
a minute delay on my end.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a delay. So
Yeah, you just installed a film just now on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm wiping it off right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing him wipe it up already.
Oh
But
wow.
I went and grabbed my son's phone and I threw that sucker to the left and I just turned the volume down on it. That way you guys wouldn't hear
You
the
can,
video
like-
twice on delay.
Discord makes it so you can also just leave it in the background and still watch the video, but yeah, the audio is not going to be synced.
Yeah, I
Is
can
it
do split
all-
screen on the Android. I don't know if all Androids are like that, but I do split screen, so I got the chat and you're at the top of my phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. it's
It
pretty cool.
runs.
Is there a delay between those two?
Do
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, the only
I was
thing that's
wondering if there was a-
consistent is the Discord chat, and I know that can get a little confusing, and it depends on the internet. So sometimes it'll only be like a 12-second delay, and then sometimes it'll go to like a full minute, and maybe it also depends on like how long I've been running the stream for. But I got like a couple little fingers in these bottom corners, but all the defrosters are laying down very nice.
Okay, looks good. Is that a cordless
Mac-
light there or corded?
The light?